This is a video about a new version of the traditional supertrend indicator. That's been upgraded with machine learning to identify not only the trend of the market, but also the volatility of the market. In this video, we're going to go over how this indicator works and how you can use it in your trading strategy. If you happen to find value, remember to leave a like. Let's get into it. Now, to begin, go to TradingView. After you've loaded your favorite trading asset, you want to open the Indicator Search tab and then type in Machine Learning Adaptive Supertrend. Be sure to select this one by Chart Prime. By now you probably already know about the traditional supertrend indicator. You know, it's an indicator that identifies bullish and bearish trends in the market, and it also gives buy and sell signals. Now, you may be thinking, but what is the difference between that and this new indicator? Well, it's machine learning. The difference is machine learning, but what does that even mean? Well, machine learning is introduced here through something known as k-means clustering, which is a technique that categorizes market volatility into three distinct levels: high, medium, and low. This categorization allows the supertrend to adjust more precisely to varying levels of volatility. In this table, you can see the three levels of volatility: high, medium, and low. Each level is assigned a specific cluster number: 3 for high volatility, 2 for medium, and 1 for low. On the chart, the candles are marked with these numbers based on detected volatility. For instance, when the indicator detects high volatility, candles will display the number 3, indicating heightened market activity. Similarly, medium volatility is marked by the number 2, and low volatility by the number 1. Looking at the indicator's settings, the first option you'll see is the ATR length, meaning this indicator incorporates the average true range, just like the traditional supertrend. To understand the average ATR values associated with different volatility types, we can examine the cluster centroid values in the table. For example, for high volatility, the centroid ATR value is 0.35. This means that, on average, candles with the number 3 have an ATR of 0.35 at least for the last 100 bars. For medium volatility, the average ATR 0.3, and for low volatility, the average ATR is 0.25 for the last 100 bars. Why only 100 bars, you may be thinking? Well, because it's the default look-back period on how much historical candles the indicator uses as training data, and we can actually see that in the settings, and you can even change it. If you wanna, but with 100 bars, the cluster size reflects data from the last 100 bars. For example, within the past 100 bars, cluster number 3 occurred 47 times, cluster number 2 occurred 26 times, and cluster number 1 occurred 27 times. When using this indicator, you'll want to consider both the volatility level and the cluster size. An ideal scenario would be to focus on the highest volatility level with the largest cluster size. For instance, in high volatility markets, you want to avoid making buy or sell decisions if the cluster size for number 3 is the smallest on the table. Instead, ensure it's the largest of the 3 clusters before proceeding. This table is also going to display the current volatility level for your convenience. As we continue exploring the indicator, you'll notice that the rest of its components are fairly straightforward. We have a trend cloud that changes color between red for bearish trends and green for bullish trends. During transitions between trends, the indicator is going to print red and green labels to mark the transitions. So from bearish to bullish, you're going to have a green label. By the way, I have an important announcement. Have you heard about BingX's contest with a $1 million prize? Called the Super X Spring Contest, this trade contest offers everyone a chance. You can participate in the Solo ROI Contest, Solo Trading Volume Contest, or Team Contest. All you need to do is to become a member of BingX with a commission discount via the link in the description. Visit the link for more details. And then from bullish to bearish, you're going to have a red label. These labels can also be used as buy and sell signals, and we're going to explore that in a bit. But for now, let's take a look at the settings. The ATR length determines the period used for calculating the ATR, while the supertrend factor acts as the multiplier in the supertrend calculation. The training data length is the look-back period, defining how much historical data is used for training. The values displayed here represent percentile values, which are used to set the initial guesses for clustering. You can adjust them to observe how they impact the generated signals. Lastly, you can customize the indicator's appearance by modifying colors. Since I want to start by going over how we can use this indicator for trend identification, I want to change the supertrend factor to 8, and then on the Style tab, I'm going to disable every single option except for the first two plot options. After that, click OK. Now, if I zoom out on the chart, you'll notice that by setting the supertrend factor to 8, this indicator can now capture and identify longer-term trends in the market. If you're using this indicator for trend identification, this is how you'd want to set it up. Here, we can see a clear bullish trend, and here is a bearish trend. Now, another method of using this indicator is as a buy-sell signal generator. To do this, we're going to add the same indicator again. Here are the conditions for taking a long position. First, confirm the market is in an overall bullish trend, using the first supertrend as a trend filter, this one at the top. Second, we want to identify a market pullback. A pullback is indicated by a red label printed by the second supertrend indicator, immediately followed by a green label. This sequence signals a potential pullback. Lastly, once you confirm the pullback, you want to ensure that the candle with the green label has a cluster number 3, as indicated below. This indicates that the volatility on this specific candle is high. On top of that, you want to confirm that the cluster number 3 on this table has the largest cluster size. This indicates that the high volatility has been dominant over the past 100 bars. With all those conditions aligned, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't take this long position. Now, you want to put your stop loss in an area where the trend cloud of the second supertrend would be. How do you know where it would be? Well, it's usually above this green label. So, we're going to drag this just until it touches the very top of the label for the take profit. We're going to set it at 1.5 times the risk, 1.5 times the risk, letting the trade run, and it was profitable. To give you a better understanding of this strategy, let's go over a short trade example. First, confirm the market is in an overall bearish trend using the first supertrend indicator as a trend filter. Second, identify a market pullback. A pullback is indicated by a green label printed by the second supertrend indicator, immediately followed by a red label. This sequence signals a potential pullback. Lastly, once you confirm the pullback, you want to ensure that the candle with the red label has a cluster number 3, as indicated below. This indicates that the volatility on this specific candle is high. On top of that, you want to confirm that the cluster number 3 on this table has the largest cluster size. This indicates that the high volatility has been dominant over the past 100 bars. All the entry conditions were met on this candle. So we're going to enter a short position. Put the stop loss at the bottom of the red label, as it would be the same level where the trend cloud is going to be. For the take profit, it's going to be set at 1.5 times the risk. Letting the trade run, and as you can see, it was profitable. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Machine Learning Adaptive Supertrend Indicator by Algo Alpha, an ideal tool for traders seeking a sophisticated, adaptive upgrade to the traditional supertrend. By adding this indicator to your toolkit, you can make trend detection and volatility tracking more precise and efficient. Check it out on TradingView and let us know how it fits into your trading strategy. That's it for today's video. If you found value in this content, please leave a like and consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest insights. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.